Hi, Bumblebee. So today is going to be Truck Stop Thursday or Truck Stop Buzz. We do have a very special person by the name of Truckin Justin, and a lot of you guys may also follow him if you are in the trucking industry. So basically, I've known him for about a year now. It's been about
Yeah,
a year.
yeah, it's been about a year.
Okay, so he's a really good friend of mine. And could you basically tell us how you got started in the trucking industry?
Okay, first off, how you guys doing? I am Truckin Justin. It's good to meet you guys. And how I got started in the transportation industry was kind of just by fate. I ended up buying a truck and just kind of went through the paces of it all. And I realized something as soon as I bought the truck. I was like, man, I got a truck and I don't know anything about the industry, right? So I kind of got nervous. I freaked out a little bit, and I just started taking it on as a hobby, and then it got more professional and got further in depth with my teachings. And I mean, I just went on to kind of learn a good amount. And my whole thing with the industry is I wanted to be able to speak with anybody in regards to whatever craft they may have started in the transportation industry. So if it's the freight broker, if it's a dispatcher, if it's a mechanic, if it's FMCSA or insurance agent or driver, you know what I mean? So um, yeah, I put forth that type of effort to learn this type of industry.
Okay, and how long have you had your trucking authority?
I had my trucking authority now 2 years.
Okay, and
So
did someone introduce you to the trucking industry?
Um, not necessarily anybody direct introduced me to the transportation industry. It's just that I was aware of what was going on, and I knew
Mm-hmm.
somebody who had a truck at that time. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just so curious, and I asked them, I was like, man, like, are you really making money with that truck? And they were like, yeah. And they were like, look, it's easy to go get a truck. If you want to kind of learn what I'm doing in a sense, then we can go. And if you want to learn it, show me that you want to learn it to go buy a truck. I went the very next day and started doing commercial financing on a piece of equipment.
Okay, and what is your background? What did you do before trucking?
My background was transportation, so
Oh, good.
railroad, locomotive engineer. So I used to drive trains.
Okay, and what would you say you love about trucking?
I love that it changes, right? Every day we're doing something new. Every day there might be a new issue that comes up. It's competitive, and I just like that it's not so plain Jane every day with everything that you're going to be doing. You can have negotiations go on. It's kind of like a big Fortune 500 company and one small company, right? I'm
Correct.
negotiating with agents. I'm talking with drivers. I'm working out logistics, making all points meet. I'm dealing with payment, payroll. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy owning my own transportation company.
Now, are you currently driving or do you have drivers?
No, I've never driven. I
Oh,
employ
good.
drivers. I employ drivers, yes.
Okay, and
And
how many
that's how I started. I
how many
started.
trucks are you running now?
At the time, I'm currently running 3 trucks.
Awesome. Okay, where are you originally from?
Miami, down in South
Okay.
Florida. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah. What would you say since you got started in the trucking industry, how has your life changed?
my life's changed in a way that I never thought the trucks would take me as far as they did. I mean, I knew they made money, but
Mhm.
for me, this became a vessel of freedom for me. Being able to pick and choose kind of what I want to do with my life and pick and choose kind of the direction of travel I want to go. If I choose to work a career, if I, choose to do anything, pretty much, trucks sustain you. Trucks keep your lifestyle together. Trucks provided a lifestyle for my children. I mean, and I'm the type of person where, I always tell people in this industry, you take on what you want to take on. So, I could have 7 trucks. I could have 2 trucks. I could have 5 trucks or whatever the case may be. When you get into this industry, know what you're getting into it for.
Correct.
So what it became for me was a teaching point, with my social media platform, which is at Trucker Justin, Truckin_Justin, no G on the Truckin. It turned into a teaching thing, and I realized that people wanted to know this information. People were asking me, how did I book a load? People were asking me, what's the overhead? What does a maintenance bill look like? And if you ever do look at my Instagram, which I know you've seen my Instagram,
Hmm.
I show the good and the bad. Every day is not perfect. Every day is not going to be a home run. But in trucking, I've experienced more home runs than I've experienced losses.
Correct. All righty. And what would you say is the hardest challenge that you had to face so far?
Finding a reliable, responsible driver that wants to work in my organization and do things that I need done and be as consistent as possible for the long term.
Okay, okay.
So,
And then the last question, I'm not going to keep you too long. For that person that's looking to get in the trucking industry and they probably haven't made that decision quite yet, what piece of information or what advice could you give that person to help them pretty much move forward and make that decision?
I always recommend for people to learn, to get the knowledge. Knowledge is a stepping stone to the foundation, right? It's the cornerstone.
Hmm.
I always recommend learn, get a course, talk to people in the industry, but also talk to the correct people because unfortunately for trucking, there's a lot of people as well as successes, right? That are failures and then you have a lot of successes. So talk to the right people. That's not going to give you biased information.
Correct.
Get your knowledge together before you go buy a truck. Get your knowledge together about the process of getting your own authority. My authority now is going towards 3 years, and I've done it every type of way. I've done the 3PL leasing way, and I've gone and done the authority. I mean, I've learned every way to run a truck. I learned every way you can make money off of a piece of equipment. You know, my business model and my structure works regardless if it's $170,000 truck or if it's a $10,000 truck. You
Correct.
have to find ways to build what you're doing and make it all successful, is my point. So before you do anything in transportation, get the knowledge and get the cornerstone so you know the direction to travel. You can't go in a direction unless you know which way you're supposed to be headed.
Okay, well, I appreciate you for doing this interview with us and, taking some time out of your day. And you enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for the interview.
All right, you're welcome, Courtney. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye bye.